Lately, the majority of us have been confined to our homes, where we sit at our desk attending school remotely on Zoom and studying for hours on end, spending an unprecedented amount of time looking at our screens, and sometimes we need to take a quick mental break. I found that the best way to take a mental break is to go on a walk with my dog and take photos of all the beautiful scenery around me, from the greenness of the trees on the land to the fluffy clouds in the blue sky, to the waves crashing on the shore and the vastness of the ocean, and seeing the marine life peacefully living under the surface of the water and the wildlife thriving off the resources of the land. Where in La Jolla you can see a sea lion just taking a moment to soak in the sun, and the birds taking a break from flying in the sky to nurture their offspring. Mother Nature is constantly creating and changing 24 hours, starting with the luminance of the moon in the middle of the night to the natural light of the sun rising early in the morning. You can observe all the elements Earth has to offer by the changing of the seasons, starting from snow caps on the mountains in the winter, where the immensity of the mountains are overpowering, then seeing the blooming of the flowers in the spring, or if you were to take a closer look, you can easily be memorized by the patterns and symmetry of the petals and their various vibrant pigmentations of colors. In the summer, the warmness of the sun and the change of the colors and sunsets can go from hues of purple and pink to an intense orange and yellow, right beyond the horizon of the ocean, especially in San Diego, where I was amazed by the creation of the silhouettes of the infamous palm trees. And in the East Coast, I would take the time to observe the spectrum of the rainbow in the fall as the leaves of the tall trees change colors around me. I can simply open my door and go to the lake near my house to just appreciate the nature and take a moment to breathe the fresh air, to feel refreshed and relieved from the stresses of schoolwork. Looking at that lake relaxes me as the water acts like a natural mirror where the reflection of the skies and trees look surreal. And you might not have a lake in your backyard, but it should not stop you from going outside and taking your dog or friend or family member just to listen to nature's version of ASMR and listen to the leaves crunch as you walk on the path in your nearest public park or national park, or the lawnmower cutting fresh grass, or observing the water rippling from the breeze and seeing the twinkling of the sunshine. Just nowadays, it just saddens me to see empty playgrounds and fields waiting to be filled with vibrant energy of kids and people. And I know it might be underrated to play outside in today's society, but I remember when I was a kid, that was our only way of having fun and hanging out with our friends. So I say, let's take a moment and go back to the good old days, get on a swing set, and feel the freedom of swinging as high as you can to the point that it feels like you're flying and enjoying the wind blowing through your hair. Take that moment to let loose and play around with your dog. Just give your full attention and affection to the people closest to you just by staying active, because that can bring an unmeasurable amount of happiness, from just playing tennis matches to going out for a quick swim in the lake or at the pool, or maybe even a quick leisurely walk around the neighborhood, so that as soon as you step back inside your house, you're ready to continue working because your mind is at ease. However, when you don't take a break to go outside and you spend your entire day isolated in your room, fixated on a virtual reality, you're blocking yourself from the real world and are ignoring all possible outdoor activities that can possibly keep you equally as entertained. When you're consumed by video games for hours, you lose that sense of serenity because you become restless and agitated by just playing a game. Technology has become so dependent in our lives that you'll be hanging out with your family or friends, and rather than having a conversation, they'll be glued to their phones, condemned to watching other people live their lives and spectating the lives of the rich and famous, low-key envying what seems to be a carefree life. Celebrities, TikTokers, YouTubers, and Instagram models often spend countless amounts of money and effort trying to produce the perfect content in order to get likes, whether it is not authentic to their real self. Some social media influencers like Jake Paul will often pull publicity stunts to seek attention of viewers and obtain his followings. Being famous entails acting or looking a certain way that will be socially accepted, and this creates high expectations and social standards that is often obtained by changing who you are to appeal to others. A lot of people and influencers choose to stick to their true self, and I agree with this source of social media, but when it comes to hate comments, you must be strong, and this is my opinion. So the previous video, Addison, this TikToker, she starts getting a whole bunch of hate comments about her body and the way she looks, and she starts speaking out in a positive way and bringing awareness to a very pressing issue actually in social media, because right now our standards are having a perfect body, and she's just kind of like, no, I want to be myself. I'm here to express who I am, to stay true to who I am, and I completely agree that's how social media should be used, and that you should keep your stuff in private, and that if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say it, because then you're just hurting that other person. So I just kind of have my view on hate comments. Comment sections give people the freedom to judge people behind a screen. Hate comments can be very hurtful and offensive. They're usually meant to criticize the way that someone looks and what somebody does. Hurtful comments are the main reason that people develop insecurities and have an increase of social anxiety and depression. Saying phrases that are sexist, homophobic, racist, and anti-Semitic implies a person does not belong and they are not normal. Making fun of something that someone cannot change is a way of othering and demeaning who they are. So when it comes to hate comments, people take it in multiple ways, and whether it's hurtful or not to you, and whether you turn into something positive like Addison Rae did, that's 100% really strong and sturdy, and you can continue being an influencer, and you know it's not detrimental to your health, then just keep doing what you're doing. Otherwise, I would just say lay off social media and stop kind of falling into the judgment of other people. When it comes to a point where social media is such a big factor in what you do and what you wear and what you look like, and you're not really like, oh, I kind of like it for myself, then it's a little different. And so the next video I have is about a Kim Kardashian lookalike, and she kind of shows like what I don't really like about what social media has.
Kardashian every single minute. Everyone thinks I look like Kim. Actually, I'm a bit worried because if I keep doing this fillers and Botox, I might, lose track of myself. Hi doctor, how are you? They always tell me like, Charlie, you have to slow it down. Like, you are going over the top.
So, we're doing your chin and your jawline today.
I was actually thinking if I can also have some more cheeks. What do you think? Hi, my name is Kim Kardashian. It's not Kim, it's Charlie Deanne. This is so pretty. I wear it like every winter. This is Kim's favorite. About 7,000 pounds. It's not real fur because I'm vegan, but it's Givenchy. When I wear these, I feel like Kim Kardashian, and it feels so good. This is about 2,000 pounds. This is about men. This is Kim's favorite too. I love it. This is about 4,000 pounds. One of my favorite pieces. People tell me I look like Kim Kardashian every single minute. Every time they see me on the street or at the party or everywhere. I realized that I look like her the moment I saw her picture and I started following her on Instagram. I'm like, oh my god, that actually looks like me. Is that me? This is Tom Ford, and this is one of Kim's favorite. I've seen her wear this like a million times. These are 1,000 pounds. Oh my god, this is my favorite shoes. I've spent so much fortune on handbags. I would say about 300,000-400,000 pounds. Yeah. I always have to keep changing my bags because I have to keep up with the Kardashians. I've spent millions on shoes and bags and clothes. That's who I am, and I'm an influencer, so I have to go with the trend. Every season I have to change my closet.
So what I really wanted to bring out in that video is like my important point that I want to get out through this whole documentary is how it can cause more harm than good, especially how it's detrimental to your mental health. We have become just so dependent on technology that it becomes influential in our day-to-day life, and I believe the main use of social media has been lost to a culture of hate and judgment. And in the previous video with the Kim Kardashian lookalike, I think she's kind of fallen under the social pressures of looking a certain way and dressing a certain way and just kind of staying on that trend because you don't want to get outdated is what I would like to say. And I think just rather than internet being a place of self-expression and communication with peers and loved ones, it's become more of a toxic environment where people can easily troll on other people behind their screens because they don't have that like real interaction or confrontation, so they're just free to say whatever because there's no boundaries or limitations on what you can say on social media. Like no one can stop you from sending a text and posting something. And so when you send one, you're not really fully aware how it might affect them because you're not seeing their reaction. You're not seeing if like, oh, did that hurt them? Did that make them sad? So it's just social media has just become like just this pedestal for influencers and celebrities to put on a facade and gain like either wanted or unwanted attention, to have a perfect life and a body created with high expectations and beauty standards. And it's just unrealistic to kind of push ourselves to that limit when we don't have the resources or when we just want more privacy in our lives. And I think me not having TikTok was, I feel like, a really good decision on my behalf. And I don't have any like reservations for people that do have it, but I just think it's making me happier and more appreciative of like what's outside. And I spent all my time taking photos and appreciating what was originally put on Earth before we had buildings and technology. It was just straight smelling the roses and stepping outside, and just looking at your phone for hours just can like make you so insecure and make you so self-conscious because you are who you are, you're born the way you are, and you should always strive to be a better person, but not strive to be somebody that somebody else wants you to be. So I hope that was informative, and yeah, go outside and smell the roses.